श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जीव की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव जीव की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जीव की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टतर शत श्रीशिला श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीशिला भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीशिला भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीशिला भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीशिला भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय महाभागवत श्रील गौर किशोर दास गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्री श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री गौरी वेदांताचार्य बलदेव विजयभूषण प्रभु की जय। श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्री नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ सद गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्रील स्वरूप दामोदर रॉय रमनंदारी गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम आचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री अंतर्द्वीप मायापुर सीमंत द्वीप गोद्रुम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप खोल द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जन द्वीप मोद द्रुम द्वीप रुद्रदीपात्मक श्री श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनात्मक श्री ब्रज मंडल धाम की जय। श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद यमुना गंगा तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद राधा गोपीनाथ राधा मदन मोहन जीव की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा रमन राधा दामोदर जीव की जय। श्रीमती ललित विशाखा आदि अष्ट सखी वृंद की जय। श्री रूप मंजरी रति मंजरी अनंग मंजरी आदि मंजरी वृंद की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्रीमती पौर्णमासी योग माय देवी की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय। सर्वाभीष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चारों धाम चारों संप्रदाय चारों आचार्य की जय। आकर मतराज श्री चैतन्य मत की जय और अनन्या शाखा मत समूह की जय। श्री विश्व वैष्णव राज सभा की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। त्रिभुवन पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल हरि नाम प्रभु की जय। हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र की जय। सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। Shri Nityananda Mahajanna ki jai, Shri Pancha Tattva ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Govinda, Jaya Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Jaya Radhe Govinda, Radhe 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 Govinda, Radhe 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 Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Jaya Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Jaya Radhe Govinda. Gaura Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Shri Advaita Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Shri Advaita Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Gadadhara Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Gadadhara Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Shri Shivas Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Shri Shivas Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. 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 Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. They added a new speaker. They didn't have enough. And there's one very big and very loud speaker sitting on the stage now. I noticed it last night. And when they turn that up full blast, it's like these speakers outside, you know. Never loud enough. There's always another level that you have to reach to attain perfection in the noise level, you know. But we learn to tolerate. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trise Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulsidebai Priyayi Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtatarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of all of my Shri Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga, and I offer my Dandavat pranams to all the Vaishnavas and to all the Vaishnavis. from the last class, we didn't read the ending part of this chapter, the second lecture, chapter 2. Today is Tuesday the 24th, so we'll have class on Thursday the 26th, and then on Sunday the 29th. Then the following week is my last week here, and we will have class on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then I leave on Tuesday the 8th to fly to Vrindavan. So we have about 6 more classes, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 more classes. Now, completing this lecture of Srila Gurudev, he now begins to discuss the benefit that one derives from high-class association. So, there's different levels of association. And now Gurudev is telling that Sri Sukadeva Goswami told the story of Narada. And without the help of a transcendental, elevated guru, without his help, transcendental, elevated guru, no one can develop in bhakti. A guru who has not internally served his Gurudev, who is not inspired and strong, and who has no faith, cannot help his disciples. Therefore, Sri Sukadeva Goswami first related the life history of Narad. This is actually the first history being told in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, beginning with the 4th chapter. The first and second chapters are the introductory chapters. The 3rd chapter is the discussion of the various incarnations and expansions of the Supreme Lord. And then in the 4th chapter comes the arrival of Narada Muni to Vyasadeva in the Himalayan mountains. So, because of the fact that unless one has a guru who has internally served his Gurudev, who is inspired and strong, and who has faith, then he can help his disciples. But the opposite cannot. Therefore, Sri Sukadeva Goswami first related the life history of Narad. Narad was the son of Brahma, being born from his throat. In the throat, there are words. In this case, transcendental words. Narad is therefore the manifestation of word. What word? Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma is Krishna himself. The Narada has therefore been called Bhakti Avatar, the incarnation of devotion. In a previous life, Narad was born in a low-class, poor family. His mother used to clean here and there to support them. And when he was only 5 years old, the 4 Kumaras, Sananda, Sanak, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar, along with many rishis, not only those 4, they came with many rishis, they came to the village where he lived with his mother. And he used to serve them with very great honor. They would order him, "Oh, bring my lota, bring my kopin, and my kamandalu. You may come with me when I go to bathe in the river." So by good fortune, one day Narada took some remnants of the prasad that was left on the leaf plates of those rishis. Then what was the result? Gurudev quotes the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita until Leela 16th chapter. Bhakta pada duli ar, bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avashesh, teen mahabal. So what is this? It's talking about 3 substances. What is that? First of all, bhakta pada duli. Duli means dust. So, the dust from the bhakta, the lotus feet of the pure devotee, is called bhakta pada duli. Second, there are 3. The second one, bhakta pada duli ar, bhakta pada jal. Jal means water. So the water that has washed the lotus feet of the pure devotee, the bhakta, that is the second substance. And the third one, bhakta bhukta avashesha. Bhakta bhukta avashesh means the remnants of the prasad, which was directly eaten off the plate of the pure devotee. This is called bhakta bhukta avashesh. So in this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that these 3 substances, teen mahabala. Mahabal means very spiritually powerful. These are very spiritually powerful. So, Gurudev says, you should have strong faith in this. Even if you are chanting a great deal and reading Bhagavatam a lot, it will not help you very much. If, however, you receive the remnants of any high-class Vaishnava, you will be greatly benefited. Now, remnants are of 2 kinds. The nectar of the Harikatha that is coming from the lotus mouth of the pure devotee. That is one type of remnant. And the second type is the nectar of his prasad. Other powerful substances are the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and the water that has washed his feet. One must serve these with honor. Do not try to forcibly take a Vaishnava's foot dust, jokingly quarreling and wrestling with him and throwing him flat on the ground. So, why did Gurudev say that? Well, first of all, some devotees, and not just in Gurudev's association, but, all throughout history, some devotees, they think, oh, he's a pure devotee. I have to get the dust from his feet. I have to get the dust from his feet. But how can I get that dust? So sometimes what they do is, as the pure devotee is walking, like in Braj Mandala Parikrama, Gurudev is walking, then some devotee tries to come up behind him, and not only where the imprint of his foot is there in the dust, but even as he's walking, then from behind, as he raises up his lotus foot, they try to take the dust. We witnessed that. One lady disciple of Gurudev, I'm not mentioning names, tried to do that. Gurudev turned around and slapped her very hard. Then after that, she understood. Don't do that. That's not how you get the dust. And here Gurudev takes it even further by saying, Don't try to forcibly take by joking and quarreling, and then wrestling with him, and then throwing him flat on the ground. Why is Gurudev saying that? Because in Gurudev's entourage, his senior devotees who were serving and traveling with him, they would sometimes do that forcibly. But of course, that was just in play. But to a real pure devotee, never do that. That has to be given by him willingly. Just like in this chapter, when Narada Muni took the remnants, it is told, Gurudev didn't mention it, but with their permission, he took their remnants. It's written in the shlokas. And then at that time, a great awakening took place inside of him. And the very nature of the transcendentalist became so attractive to him. He became forcibly drawn towards them. Now, Gurudev is saying that try to be like Narada. He had become very near and dear to saintly persons. Yes. And when his mother, who was an attachment for him, his mother was attachment for him. She quickly died after being bitten by a snake. And then he left home. Now the sages had already left, and now Narada left home. Even he was a small boy, but he left. And what happened? Gurudev is very condensed, in such a condensed way. Then Gurudev says, in his trance, in his meditation, he easily saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the way, I looked that verse up, and no, I knew that already, that he appeared in his heart, to him internally, you see. So, in his trance, he easily saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the Lord advised him, you should continue hearing, chanting, remembering, and speaking Harikatha to all. A day will come when death arrives, but you will not die. You will place your feet on the head of death. And this came to pass, and Narada attained his Siddhadeha, his spiritual body, which is always present, even when one is within the gross and the subtle body. The Siddhadeha is always present. He realized his transcendental form, and in that form he traveled everywhere, sometimes within this world, sometimes to Goloka Vrindavan, sometimes to the abode of Narayan, and here and there. So then now Gurudev is making a point in relation to the story of Narada. He is saying, without Guru, we cannot progress. Without Guru, we cannot progress. But that Guru should not be like a Kali Yuga Guru. We are the property of Krishna. So, Guru should bring us to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is Guru. Srimad Bhagavatam states that bhakti should not be like the bhakti of Dhruva. There was some defect in him. You know that the exalted devotee Narada, he initiated Dhruva. He initiated Prahlad Maharaj. And he also initiated Chitraketu Maharaj. But these three disciples were in different categories. Even if the Guru wants to give the same thing to all, meaning Goloka Vrindavan and service to Krishna, the Guru may want to give the same thing to all. If the disciple has no past impressions, that Guru cannot give it. What's the meaning of this? Do you know? Madhavi, you know the meaning of this? If the Guru, even if the Guru wants to give the same, high transcendental benediction to his different disciples, he wants to give it to all of them. Ultimately, he wants to do that. But the disciple cannot take it. He wants to give, but the disciple cannot take it. And why is that? Because if the disciple has no past life impressions, that means samskaras, then that Guru cannot give it to him. This is important to understand. We should all understand that we have samskaras that have been created over many lifetimes. And these are called past life impressions. So, some of those past life impressions are anukul. They're favorable for bhakti, but some past life impressions are not. So, the process of gradual elevation and purification requires that new impressions are created in this life by high association and service. And then those other impressions will gradually become weaker and weaker. They'll not have much influence at all. Has this been proven? Oh, absolutely. Srila Prabhupada is the first person to prove it on a mass scale all over the world. Because people in different places on the earth planet, different backgrounds, different races, different, education levels, all of this, they're different. And there's different levels of cultural sinfulness, which is in their very culture. Breaking the regulated principles, eating meat, illicit sex, intoxication, all these things. So, persons who have been habituated to this during their life, like almost everybody in the Western world, very few are not habituated to all these sinful activities. And they're also associated with people who are completely absorbed in those sinful activities. Even up to the so-called highest levels of society, of the political class and so forth, they're all sinful. They're all completely degraded, and they're all ignorant and foolish because they don't even know that they're not this physical body. They don't know what the purpose of life is. So these are very, very bad samskaras. Bad samskaras. But the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinam Sankirtan movement, that's why the very first words in the Sikshastakam verse 1, is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This is the first effect of chanting. That the mirror of the mind will be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It will be cleaned. And what does that mean? Past samskaras, unfavorable samskaras, they'll be cleaned away. By what? By the process of bhakti, by very high association like this. So, the Guru has come to give the highest attainments that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. That all of the Guru Varga, the Rupanuga Guru Varga, the Sri Guru in this disciplic succession, he wants to give those things. But he cannot give it to those who do not have the necessary samskaras. Okay? So, but everyone gradually can advance. Some can advance much more quickly because they have previous life samskaras. Huh? And that's all known by Krishna. So, therefore Krishna arranges very high association for those persons who have very high past life bhakti samskaras. And therefore in this life they will become very advanced in the association of very exalted pure Vaishnavas. But at the same time, Krishna also makes arrangements for the different living entities on different levels, even those who are coming in contact with his Harinam Sankirtan movement. And they may come in contact with levels of devotees who are a bit more advanced than themselves, of course, but they're not on these highest levels. So can they help? Yes. Yeah, of course they can help. But Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj gave an example. You may remember this example. He said there are two types of medical doctors. One type of a medical doctor is called the family doctor. And that doctor, I mean, I remember even when I was young, we used to have our family doctor. That doesn't seem to exist very much. Huh? Yeah. But they would actually, the family doctor, what happens, he takes responsibility for each family member. Okay? So therefore, whatever takes place in their lives, whatever happens, he takes responsibility for that. Okay? So, but the other type of doctor is, I forget the term that he used. Not third party, but something like that. That he is a temporary doctor. You go to the doctor, he's a temporary doctor. So the temporary doctor, he will tell to you, I have such and such abilities and I have such and such limitations. I may have to send you to another doctor and like that. But he tries his best. Tries his best. But the family doctor, he is fully committed. He has to look after each family member of this family. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave this example of gurus. That one guru, he may come and he may take full responsibility for the disciple, who he sees is very sincere and very surrendered and who is prepared to live their lives according to the strict rules and regulations given for the pure bhakti lifestyle, and to give up everything that is unfavorable and to perform sharanagati. But another guru will help one, like in the case of Siksha. Generally, the Diksha Guru is quite committed to, the Diksha Guru is committed to accepting this disciple and taking full responsibility. But I was just reading, I'll find that quote again, but it was a very nice quote given about what he witnessed directly from Srila Prabhupada. And who is that? Nanda Kumar, Prabhupada's disciple, who used to be his personal servant for some time. And he remarked, it was on some site where there were a lot of devotees discussing their exchanges with Srila Prabhupada. So the subject matter came up, and Nanda Kumar wanted to ask a question from Srila Prabhupada, but Prabhupada was sitting in the car and he said, ask me later. So then when they came back to Prabhupada's room, oh yeah, it's because there was one person who was there was one newcomer to the temple who was recommended to Srila Prabhupada for initiation. And he was just very new. And he had been a former, military person. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj specifically mentioned his name. Tamal Krishna Maharaj wanted to give him an opportunity to receive initiation from Prabhupada, even though it was obvious to everyone that he was not at all qualified. So, even during the initiation ceremony itself, he was looking here and there at all the girls, at all the women. And even when Prabhupada gave him the beads and his name and so forth, he couldn't even repeat what are the 4 regulative principles and like this, okay? So, Nanda Kumar was really wondering, Srila Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was eager, but everyone can see that he's not at all qualified. So Prabhupada said, ask me later. So then when they came back to the residence, then even before Nanda Kumar could ask the question to Prabhupada, Prabhupada already knew what he wanted to ask about. He said, actually that person was not initiated by me. And this is very interesting how Prabhupada explained this. He said it is not the ceremony that determines if someone is truly initiated or not. No. Yeah. So then Prabhupada explained, what does it mean that you're actually getting fully initiated? You're being accepted as an initiated disciple, just that you had the ceremony? Or even that you received the mantras? Prabhupada said, only when you in your heart as a disciple have completely embraced your Guru as your life and soul, you are embracing him in that way, fully in the mood of obedience and desire to surrender and to accept him as your Guru deep in your heart, then that person has actually received initiation. Otherwise, technically they have not been initiated, because that's the determining factor of initiation. And then Prabhupada said, and there may be others who have not even gone through the ceremony, but yet they are initiated, because they have that qualification. They have fully embraced Sri Guru as their Guru in their heart, you see. So, Gurudev is explaining here that if the disciple has no past impressions, then that Guru cannot give it. Give what? He cannot give these high things. He wants to give it, but the disciple cannot take it. So Dhruva Maharaj had no past impressions. Although he performed severe austerities for 6 months, although he was ultimately able to live without air and water, he did not have previous impressions from association with high-class devotees. So therefore Narada could not give him the purest bhakti. Yes, so of course we know, Gurudev's not getting into the details here, but why did Dhruva Maharaj succeed after 6 months of doing these severe austerities? And then the Supreme Lord revealed to him. Why did that happen? Do you remember what Gurudev told? He said it is because Narada Muni met him on his way to the forest and gave him the instruction that you chant this mantra. I think it was the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And you chant this mantra, and within 6 months, then the Supreme Lord, who you are going to search for now in the forest, you will meet him. And of course there's a story also that I think Narada was asking the Lord later on, why did you put this boy through all of this extreme, torturous austerity for 6 whole months? And then the Lord responded to Narada, because you told to him that you will see me in 6 months. So I had to wait for 6 months. So anyway, Narada could not give to Dhruva this purest bhakti. He could not give it to him because he didn't have past life impressions. Now, Gurudev is telling that our Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they all wanted to give all these things, and that is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur began Nagar Samkirtan and Namahata. And Srila Swami Maharaj also began in this way. But he could not give his disciples the pure devotion to Radha and Krishna that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not give this to Kala Krishna Das, who was traveling with Mahaprabhu in South India. He was with Kala Krishna Das in South India, but he could not give him this high class of devotion. So the recipient requires sufficient impressions from this birth and also from previous births. If you neglect to associate with high-class Vaishnavas and you neglect to realize all these truths, then Gurudev will not give it. Even though Gurudev wants to give this bhakti, and even though he can do anything, but he will not deviate from the process. That is why Narada could not give it to Dhruva. And that is why Dhruva is still in Dhruvaloka and not in Goloka Vrindavan. Now, in the history of Devahuti and Kapila Dev, so Kapila Dev told his mother, Canto 3, chapter 25, verse 25. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata taj joshanad ashu apavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. So this is Lord Kapila Dev teaching his mother, Devahuti. So he's telling that in the assembly of pure devotees, Satam Prasangan, then very powerful discussions illuminating my heroic deeds. That means Mama Virya Samvido. So these discussions, these powerful discussions, they become what? Rasayana Kata. They become a rejuvenating tonic for both the ears and the heart. Bhavanti Hritkarna Rasayana Kata. Now, Taj Joshanad Ashu Apavarga Vartmani. By hearing these instructions, these narrations, then one quickly advances on the path of emancipation from ignorance. Taj Joshanad Ashu. Ashu means very soon, very quickly. Emancipation from ignorance means apavarga vartmani. And how does that take place? Shraddha, ratir, bhaktir, anukramishati. First he develops Shraddha. First faith, Shraddha, in me. Then Rati, the sprout of pure love. And then finally he experiences the awakening of Prem Bhakti, pure devotional service. So, It is also stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about Sadhu Sangha. This is told by Mahaprabhu in the 22nd chapter of the Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, 50 verse 54. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastrikoi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sange, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So here, the word Sadhu Sangha is told 3 times, 3 ras. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastrikoi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Now what does this mean? This means, Sarva Shastrikoi means that this is the verdict, the decision of all the revealed scriptures is that by even Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, that means even a moment's association with a pure devotee, then what happens? Sarva Siddhi Hoy. One can attain all siddhi, all perfection. So if one is in Sadhu Sangha for even a moment, it will not go in vain. But this association should be taken with honor and with very strong belief. Otherwise there will be no effect. No effect. Now Gurudev's giving the example of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj was a very advanced Vaishnava. And he was just about to attain the stage of Bhav, Rati. He had crossed Nishta Bhakti. He had also crossed the stage of Ruchi. That means relish for the holy name and Harikatha. And he had become very renounced. He had entered the stage of Asakti. He left his home, his wife, his children, everything. He came to a very dense forest, and there he lived alone, chanting and remembering. But what happened? What happened to Bharat Maharaj when he was in the forest? There was one deer that was drowning in the river. Actually, it was a mother deer who was pregnant, just about to give birth to a baby deer. And she had to cross over this stream. And when she was crossing over the stream, the baby came out into the water, the baby deer. And then at that point she kind of collapsed and looked toward Bharat Maharaj, who was sitting nearby to the river. With the look in her eyes, please help me, please help my child, like that, the deer. So, what happened, he picked up that deer, and then he took pity on the baby deer. And gradually he raised this baby deer. Now, what is this? This is called mercy in the mode of goodness, in Sattva Gun. Mode of goodness, mercy. And then Gurudev is saying that devotees, they should be merciful. They should certainly be merciful, but not attached. They should not be attached. They should be merciful, but not be attached. So Bharat Maharaj was correct in being merciful, but he became attached. This is what happened. He became attached to the baby deer, and thus his attachment to Krishna gradually diminished. Because if you're becoming attached to something other than Krishna, that attachment will cause your attachment to Krishna to diminish. And while he was in this state of attachment to the deer, very soon he died. It's also explained, Gurudev also explained that that deer grew up in his ashram. And one day there was a whole group of deer that were passing, and this other deer ran away from the ashram to join that group of deer. And Bharat Maharaj became actually separation mood from the deer. And when that happened, he suddenly met death. And then at the time of the death, what was he remembering? Only that deer. So he became a deer in his next life. And he was most careful. After that deer body, when that was finished, then he took his third birth. But Krishna allowed him to remember his 3 births. In his third birth, he could remember. In this first birth, Bharat Maharaj, second birth, the deer, third birth, Brahmin family. And now he took this outward appearance of being dumb. They called Jara Bharat. That means very dull. And all of his brothers and sisters, they used to also make fun at him, because he couldn't, outwardly he was acting like he didn't have intelligence. Why? Do you know why? So that his family members, his parents, and so that they wouldn't be attached to him, and he would not become attached to them. But he was actually on the highest level of spiritual realization. So therefore, in that third birth, he was very, very careful, because he already understood, I blew it in my first life. And I had to take a whole life of a deer. I'm not going to do that again. So therefore Gurudev is saying, therefore you also should be careful about this. Even in a high stage, there is a chance of falling down. You may be chanting and remembering, but because you are still full of anarthas, you still have no taste, no ruchi. And there is so much chance of your falling. So we should therefore always be in elevated association. Now what if you can't always be physically in elevated association of Vaishnavas? I'm asking that question. Yes? Our acharyas are fully living in their books, in their instructions. Fully they're living there. So in the case that we cannot have, we should take full advantage and become absorbed in their books. Yes, so we should therefore always be in elevated association. If Bharat Maharaj had been with Narada, then he would not have continued in this world for 3 lives. But he did not have such association. So therefore, try, even at the stage of nishtha or ruchi, to always be in the association of advanced devotees. Parimayatya. Now what is the essence of this story that is told by Srila Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit when Maharaj Parikshit was going to die? Then Shukadeva said, you came here having given up your son and all kinds of attachment, and therefore I am telling you Harikatha. You should not be like Bharat. You should not give a moment to other attachments. Because Maharaj Parikshit, he had only 7 days to live. That's it. So Shukadeva Goswami is telling him the story of Bharat Maharaj so that he gives up all of his illusory attachment. Now, you should not give a moment to other attachments. You should not be like Bharat. At the time of death, Bharat remembered a deer, and he also became a deer. So similarly, if one has many dogs and is very attached to them, it is certain he will be a dog in his next life. No one can avoid this. If one has any worldly attachment, he could become a serpent, a tiger, a deer, a horse, and so on. A man may even become a very beautiful lady, although previously he was in a male form, and he will become very lusty. If a lady remembers a male person, she may also become like that male, and she will be very lusty. So it may be like that. So one may also become a donkey, because donkeys are very lusty. One may become a donkey, a monkey, a dog, and so on. So do not be attached. From the beginning, try to always chant and remember Krishna, but not Krishna alone. If you remember only Krishna, you may merge into him like the Mayavadis do. So we should remember Krishna with his devotees. If your Gurudev has given you a particular ideal, try to follow that. He wants to give so many things, and he does not give them. And he wants to give so many things, and he does give them. But if the disciple has no association, he may not be able to fully understand and follow. Gurudev gives him everything in the Gopal mantra and in the Kam Gayatri mantra, but the disciple is not qualified to know what he is being given. If, however, the disciple is always in the association of high-class, exalted Vaishnavas, then he will realize all these things. So such Vaishnavas can make you realize what is in the Gopal mantra. It was given to Brahma by Krishna himself. Kam Gayatri was also given to him. And by these mantras, one can enter Goloka Vrindavan. And more than remembering Krishna, we should remember Yashoda, or the gopis like Rupa Manjari and others. And then we can serve Krishna in that same way. There are so many things to say on this subject. It is our duty to follow Srila Rupa Goswami, which is why we are called Rupanugas. We say in the Jayadvani, Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, but we do not know what Rupanuga is. We should try to know by questioning what is Rupanuga, what is Raganuga, what is Rag, what is Shraddha, what is Nishta, what is Ruchi, what is Asakti, Rati, Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, and Anurag. We should know this by questioning. And then we will know about all these stages of bhakti. We may read Srimad Bhagavatam, but if we do not have proper association, we cannot attain anything. Therefore, satam prasangan mama virya samvido. We can learn so many things from Bharat Charitra, the life history and the character of Bharat Maharaj. In his third birth, Bharat was very renounced. He became a Brahmana, but at the same time, he seemed totally like a madman. Although he was not actually mad. He always remembered Krishna, and he never associated with worldly persons. It is doubtful, however, if he received the kind of bhakti that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalo. You are so lucky. Gurudev is talking to all the devotees there in his audience in Badger. Hundreds of devotees are sitting in front of him. And he's telling to all of us, you are so lucky. You're more lucky than Bharat Maharaj and others. You are so fortunate to have come in this time, just after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But we are so unfortunate that we do not want to follow the process. We want to take gold, we want to take worldly reputation and all other things from the Vaishnavas, but not their high-class love and affection for Krishna. So Bharat Maharaj never attained this love. He received so much advanced knowledge, but did he receive a drop of love for Radha Krishna conjugal? He never even heard about it. He never had the chance. And Chitraketu Maharaj was also an elevated Vaishnava, as was Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad used to see Krishna here, there, and everywhere, but he did not have any anugatya, any guidance from the gopis. Did he? No. Did he have any anugatya, any guidance, Prahlad Maharaj, from the gopis? No. Did he have any taste or any greed for attaining the mood of the gopis' love? No. So because he had no association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers, he never had this greed. So this is the last paragraph. Do not neglect or do not misuse this time. Otherwise you will be like butchers, killers of your very self. Always be detached and try to utilize your time properly. In the absence of good association, if you are sincere and you pray to Krishna, who is so merciful, he will at once arrange everything. You can pray to Nityananda Prabhu, who is more merciful than anyone. Oh, please manage this. Give me the association of Rasik devotees so that I can hear Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Be merciful. I depend on you, O Nityananda Prabhu. I am giving my whole heart to you. And if you have very strong belief in Nityananda, then he will surely manage everything. So that's the end of this lecture. And there's a few footnotes that I'm going to read here, where Gurudev is saying in a lecture in Maui, in Hawaii, this is in May of 1999, and I was not there because I was going to Russia at that time. So Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj explains this as follows. Although this book, Srimad Bhagavatam, came from Vyasadeva, he is not the original author. Who is the author? No one in this world is the author. Even Krishna is not the author. Where did it come from? It came from the heart of Krishna himself. This book is Radha and Krishna. It is the embodiment of Krishna himself. Vyasadeva has not compiled it. He received it in trance. It is transcendental, having come from Goloka Vrindavan. The pastimes of Krishna and Krishna himself, they are not separate. They descended into the heart of Vyasadeva. So Srimad Bhagavatam is therefore called Samadhi Bhashya, trans language. Then there's a footnote which is explaining about the word reject. Because Srila Narayan Maharaj was explaining in regards to giving up all bad association, even your family members and so forth. But what is the true meaning of the word reject? It means to not give your heart to one who is not a devotee. You can be in their association physically, but you don't give your heart to them. It does not mean to abandon one's duty to one's family members. But if someone is actively opposing one's endeavors in bhakti and obstructing one's practices, that person can be rejected. Then there's another clarification in a lecture in Maui, Hawaii, the same year, 1999, where Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj explained that Srimati Radhika, she dearly loves her parrot. She loves her parrot. And sometimes she takes him on her left hand and she gives him pomegranate seeds or rice and milk. And then she caresses him and she tells him, "Oh parrot, can you repeat after me? Krishna, 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 Krishna." And then in the same tune as Radhika, the parrot says, "Krishna, Krishna." Yes. So these are the footnotes. This is the second lecture from the book Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam. We will continue to complete in these coming classes the entire remainder of the book. Some of the book, like chapters 3, 4, I've read some of this in the classes. But for sure, I am determined to complete the other 5 chapters. But I may do it in a synopsis form. And then if we have any time remaining before I leave on the 8th, then I will also take the third part of the book, which is the explanations of some songs that were composed by the previous acharyas. That's Gurudev going to the houses of the householders. And there were 4 songs: Yasomati Nandan, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, Amar Bolite Prabhu, and Manasadeha Geho. So short, they're not very long, they're not like big long lectures. But Gurudev is giving the purport and the deep meaning of each one of these songs. If we have time, we can also do that. The third part of the book is, what is it called? It's called Entering the Process. Entering the Process. So there are a few short descriptions there. One of them is in 1999 they observed the Purushottam month when Gurudev was there in Hawaii, 1999. Then there's another, the observance of the Anakut festival, which many times we've been with Gurudev there at Giri Govardhan in New Vraj. Then there's one presentation called The High Class Disciple. Then the glory of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Then honoring devotees. And then the final one is called The Ripples in a Pond. So these are the remaining parts. And we will see. But for sure, I want to finish at least those 5 lectures, for sure. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Jai, Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Any question? Okay. What?
Translate. If anyone has questions.
That's why I'm asking. If anyone has any questions. That's okay. It's okay that you don't have questions, because Gurudev used to say, or Prabhupada used to say, that means that you've understood what you heard. Hopefully. Oh, the rain is coming a little bit. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsidev Bai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Vsya slava savrafyam se priyadanim.